our the drainage for our bathtub is blocked, and so I just quickly checked if it was a little bit unclogged by now. But so it took a little longer. I'm sorry, but I hope that you got all the snacks and all the drinks that you need, so we can now continue with Obduction. Oof. So, I think it's reading time, shall we? Let's start here. I can't read that. I shall document the curious events that have... Honestly, I can't read that. I have a little bit of a headache today, and that is way too straining for me right now. What about this? Is it better? Oh, it's a little bit better. The entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien. Large floating sacks or rocks. Rocks could be seen in the distance. No one had ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our new surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In fact, we soon discovered that we take for granted now. Not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a higher point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing in the very center of the circle. Our central tree that is so important to our lives here was just a mere sapling back then. Okay. Special description: Mofang. Through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. And lying was the first to call the An Liang, maybe, was the first to call the alien a Mofang, impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms. Although they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. As a result, and because of their mimicry abilities, communication with the Mofang is primarily accomplished by their learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They have been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunrath, enough to provide functional, if rudimentary, communication. The Mofang basic external morphology is remarkably humanoid. Bilateral, symmetrical tetrapods, bipedal, head with anterior facial features, mouth, eyes, nostrils. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusion. Constitution is somewhat frail, but maybe due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. They have ample cranial space to account for a substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive, as evidenced by their advanced technology. Okay, that's the Mofang. Arai. After a certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at the base. Its passage allowed contact with two additional species. The first contact was with the Arai. The first contact revealed the Arai to be large, beetle-like insects. Oh, that's one of the beetles we saw, right? We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have some rudimentary level of intelligence. It was Luring Toth who first made the journey through the heart to Kaptar and named both the New World and the inhabitants. The Arai have three distinct variants that have come to be referred to as barnacle beetle and polyarch. Although their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal system, like all of our neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In their barnacle stage, the Arai are completely immobile. The Arai stay in the egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetles after a certain stage of maturity. You're home, Athalas. Welcome home. Hope you are safe. Not quite as much reading as some missed games, but still a fair amount. I don't mind the reading. It's just sometimes I like if you get a clean text, or at least the option to pull out a clean text, because it really, especially for streaming, I notice it always drains my focus very quickly. The beetles are the eyes and ears, hands and feet, with only a minimal nervous system of their own. They are essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They are able to execute simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of individual sentience. Okay. The Arai polyarchs are the intelligence and consciousness of the species, although it was obvious that there was intelligence behind the species. It wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With the room nearby, Farley was the first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. The Arai species survived in their world while several other sentient species came and went, among them an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the Arai, carving temples and dwelling for them in the rocks, and later a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. This latter species was especially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures, using the beetles as bait. Okay. Villain. Watching Akko live and then the what? Yes! Let me know how I missed all the important clues. Athalas. The final species to be discovered were the villain. The villain had been communicated with the Arai for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the Arai. With a large and imposing frame and a form of communication based on a complex multi-voice low-frequency rumble, the initial instructions were intimidating. After several attempts, Amélie Vidal was able to begin some rudimentary communication and began visiting the villain in Marai, which she named, on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society that was able to use their technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform their world using extruded structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. I'm not sure about that, Athalas. Unlike the other worlds, the Villain sphere is supposed out of a Villain resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space to find a new homeworld. This was their way of life, to put themselves into stasis and scatter themselves through the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about 9 feet tall with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalization, but over the years they have created control panels based on their number system that allow other species to easier access elements of their technology. Okay. Sexy. I always take my time with these games, not because the puzzles are hard, though some can be until you figure them out, but I love to soak up the... Yeah, I think here, it's for a game like this, it's super important to Yeah, to kind of take your time and just explore and have the atmosphere, soaking in the atmosphere. Communication, talking with our neighbors. We take communication for granted, even with the varied languages we find here in Hunrat. But when we suddenly find ourselves among the intelligent species who don't share our culture, history, DNA, or vocal cords, it requires a huge amount of effort for the beginning of rudimentary chatting. This quick overview will set the stage for what to expect when communicating with our neighbors. The Mofang. The Mofang were the first non-humans we met, with at least some level of similar physical vocal generating abilities. They picked up human words quickly. This early mimicry resulted in what the species became to be called. Even though they were able to mimic single words and simple phrases, it became evident over the years that huge grammatical differences were not easily overcome. Some have proposed that the difficulty may have arisen because the Mofang insisted on attempting to learn every human language and as a result were never able to lock onto any consistent grammatical structure. Nevertheless, in spite of the rudimentary sentence construction, it has been very easy to communicate and it has been unnecessary for us to learn their language beyond a few simple phrases and proper names. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Mofang, please contact them. Contact Tam. The Venine have presented a particular communication challenge. From what we can gather, they produce sounds using two large reed-like structures inside opposite sides of their heads. The vibration generated are channeled to resonance chambers in their skulls, where they are combined into a complex low-frequency dual tone. The low-frequency bitonal sounds are not only hard for humans to hear and resolve, but impossible for us to mimic, and the Veline's hearing is also oriented toward low frequency, so they are unable to hear most of the sounds associated with human speech. Therefore, communication with the Veline has relied on technology. They have adapted consoles, which the Veline fluently control with vocalization, for use by other species. Over the years, some individuals of other species, including a few humans, have learned to communicate very effectively even, using this method. Humans have not been able to pick out some higher frequency characteristics of certain key Veline words over the years, and although we can't speak to them in a way that Velines can understand, we are occasionally able to hear and recognize these words when spoken distinctively by the Veline. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Veline, please contact Vito. Oh, that's really cool, Athalas, that you pick up still new things. Oh, you helped with the Kickstarter. That's really, really cool. Is Firmament their next game? The Arai. None of the stages of the Arai morphology have any vocalization apparatus. Because of the obvious synchronization of their barnacle flesh and the ability of the pawns to provide for and address the needs of the polyarchs, it was assumed that the species could communicate effectively. It was not until Farley began to spend large amounts of time in the polyarch antechamber that the first clues to this communication became evident. After months of research, Farley began to have limited success with receiving some kind of simple messages that were coming from the polyarchs. It is apparent now that the polyarchs had been attempting to communicate the entire time, but they themselves had been experimenting with various channels until they finally got a response from Farley. After this breakthrough, others were able to tune into polyarchs and learn to listen. Both the polyarchs and the pawns have a simple organ that can sense human vocal frequency, enabling them to send simple responses from humans, but over the years Farley was able to learn to speak to the polyarchs via a related form of extrasensory transmission. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Arai, please contact Farley. Yes, but so cool. So far, it seems like a very interesting character. I'm not sure if you heard about that earlier, Atharas, but we were actually joined by one person from Team Cyan. The lovely Katie joined us in the very beginning. After I tweeted out that I will play the game, I stopped by and dropped a host and enjoyed the first minute of the game with us. Yes. Very nice. Seed information. There we go. Oh, no. Why can't I get a clear text from that? Ambassador seeds were first documented about ISO Earth years, 150 years ago. They occur about once every 400 days if the trees remain healthy. Natural seed swaps occur between pairs of seeds that we now know drop simultaneously from healthy trees in paired spheres. When each seed was touched by species in sphere, the swap occurred, sending an ambassador from each sphere to the paired sphere. What? Atharas? That's impossible. Location of the swap is defined by the location of the pairs of seeds. After the first swap, the seeds recharge quickly, allowing for a quick return. First meetings were intense but naturally short. It was quite a surprise for both the Mofang and us. Over time, the seeds require more time to recharge, producing longer visits between species. Collector seeds. Everyone who arrives is familiar with the collector seeds, the bright light that we were all drawn to right before the event that brought us here. Here is a collector seed. What new arrivers may not be aware of is that these seeds, like all seeds, come in pairs. When the tree drops a collector seed on the ground, it signals that its twin has begun its quest for a new being. That search may take hours or it may take years. When an appropriate situation, a natural threat of death, is found, the seed activates and swaps a smaller but varying sized sphere from Earth, or whatever appropriate homeworld here to Hunra. As Hunra became more populated, we would watch for a newly dropped collector seed, collect it, and place it in the entry canyon area. This allowed us to provide a more predictable entry experience for new arrivers and provide a single area to collect any resource that may have come along with the new arriver. Unlike ambassador seeds and mother seeds, collector seeds do not seem to survive. The inner core is spent, having only the lifeless outer husk. Mother seeds, postulated by but unverified. First suggested by Alima Hamza, 2232 BH. The notion of mother seeds extrapolates the behavior of lesser seeds to a superseed. She posited that the process that actually created the paired spheres was similar to all other swaps, but on a much grander scale. Oh, thank you, Elkesser. I will check it out. The idea is that make yourself comfortable after that. The idea is that two seeds, I hope, it is really exhausting to read these texts right now because it's really hard to read. I would prefer just a button that we get a clear text. kind of bothers me. We're scattered on the galactic winds to find appropriately similar environment. When matches were found, some process was triggered that swapped large portions of the landscape between vastly different worlds. Alima further noted that the tree's location in the center of the sphere suggested that the trees grew from these mother seeds. Because of the similarities, it has been conjured that reswapping the entire environment spheres might be possible with a larger scale version of the ambassador seed machine. It claimed that the earlier description I could read pertaining so. Five discs of ribbon. Because of the similarities, it has been conjectured that reswapping the entire environment spheres might be possible with a larger scale. Okay, I read that. One more. I don't mind the reading. It's just sometimes like the contrast between the paper and the handwriting is sometimes a little bit low, and also with different handwritings, it just gets very tough for me to read as a non-native speaker. So it's very exhausting for my brain. Welcome to Hunra. Please give us a bit or off. Oh, it's again this typewriter that can't type an F. Of information about you, so we can get to know you a little better. Name, date your name from, date you came from. Please use 4-digit years. Where you came from, country and city, circumstance under which you were taken. Please note any danger you noticed. Oh, how am I supposed to read this? Samuel Carson, January 2017. I had just survived one. I can't read this. Sorry. I can't read this. Not with a headache, and like that is. It's just frying my brain. Oh. That is not where I thought we would come out. That's not where I thought we would come out. Let me... Supplies, food. Here's the rail yard. Oh, that is where... And here is how... I need to get here somewhere. On the wall, maybe. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Huh. Now the question is, though... how to proceed. Oh, I'm a little bit... So I have to get up somewhere, I think. Also this thing. Yeah. I mean, that's just a little bit too tedious for a stream. But thank you for pointing it out, Orchestra. I hope they would add that to Firmament. Okay. Must be way up there. Obviously. Maybe now that I... Also don't know what to do with this one here. Still haven't figured out my little train track issue either. I did go into the giant ball, yeah. And I can turn the giant ball, but at this point I don't know the point of it. Oops. It's okay. We will get through it, Orchestra. But I mean, for a moment, it would be great. This weird can still bothers me because, like, we can't pick anything else up. Why can't we pick this up? What is special about this can? What can this can that nobody else can? Nice can, yeah. Maybe it just looks nice. Someone's favorite can. Oh, really? I want a can. Oh, it can't even turn the other way around. Hey, levers. How do I get there, though? Levers and water puzzles. Water and water. Nothing special in here, right? No. Bucket. What's this though? What's this? Can't go back up. Let's talk to Cecil again. I think I did connect his thingy. Thank you for your amazing help. That's very kind of you. You're super helpful, Cecil. You must really want to get out of here very badly with all the help you put in here. Okay. This... Why can't I kick this in? Huh? Call him bracket. Why can't I kick this stupid thing in there? Can't get over here. Can I balance over this? Oh. Also no other... This is now getting out there or out here? No. That seems... Does this need to be connected to something? How? This is not connected, and we have this thing here. Battery capacitor log. Work begins on battery. Power test. No focal panels. First charging implement. 10% charged. Focal test. Efficiency changes implemented. Measured 90% absorption. 50% charge. Bleeder completed. New secure plug. Critter proof. 100% charge, bleeder switched on, topped off charge. 6 focal panels built, topped off charge, all focal panels built, topped off charge. That leads over there. Do anything else here? No. Further in this direction. This is the as far as I can go here. Turn it off for now. How do I... Don't even know if that would help me if I get through there. can't get to this door that would lead me back to the... That is blocked off too. So I would like to get to this, and I'm not sure if I need to get this, if I can get this. I would like to at least try. That doesn't seem like an option right now. Don't think my little car helps either right now. I like to drive around in it. Yeah, like I can't... No, I need to find a way to turn... the car around. Question is just how. Just inspecting the entire path, if I can do anything here. With my laser beams. Here in here before. Just wonder if there's anything else that I might have missed. All blocked off. Doggo pictures. Listen to that one. And this would be another way that could work for the whole turnaround thing. The Pride and Mega Cheer event still going. Lots of emotes for everyone. The best emotes, all the emotes. Could it be that I am stuck? What's this thing here, though? Maybe just straight up missing like a button or so. You want the wings for your fishy? I don't know. I'm really, really stuck right now. Did I? Oh, I was here, yeah. This is still closed. Guess that is the opposite way from where the big stone ball is. There's the mechanism to get to the tree. It is creepy cool, Zora. Can I do anything down here? With this thing, somehow. No. Anything up here? No. Hey, spellcaster! What are you doing? I'm now just tracing my steps. Let's go back to the party room. There's crash landed airplane. You can pick up. No. So what is the point of this room then? This looks like the thing in Farley's house, right? But I can't take things with me, so... At least I don't think I can. There we have some cocktail instructions. How the different plants taste. It's the party room. After us. Let's get the party going again. Oh yeah, I have the same here, Spellcaster. It's great. Stream's going well. Right, Athalas. When I found it, I already said that. Why don't I just stay here? I found everything I needed to find. A place with alcohol, music, And a tiki bar. So. But unfortunately, it doesn't really help me. Let's look around. Can I do anything with those graves? Anything hidden here? But the thing is, like, with hidden things, like, usually I would say it really doesn't matter because we're not collecting anything. We don't have an inventory. No need for that, Alcastra. That's very nice of you, but I will figure it out. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Good. Where am I now? Was that what I had to do? Oh, I'm on the other side. Is that what I had to do? Because we... stopped the cannon, the red one. Oh. That can change things. This. Oh, can I? Uh-huh. Of course. Of course it is. But obviously that could be very helpful. So where would that lead now? Why would I go here? Why would I want to go here? Oh, to get rid of that. Probably. Alright. But how do I get there then? Lots of questions. So, how does that work? Do it come... Okay, let's hear. Do I have to cut off the cliff? No, it doesn't kill me. It kind of teleports me. It seems like it teleports me to the other side of the map. And this should bring me out here. Yes. There's... Okay. So these are designated spots. And the question is, there's also the spot with the... that would lead me to the other side of the water. Maybe if I go through here. No, that puts me here. Oh, hey! Okay. I found a whale. know if I want to do that right now. Oh, here we have... Oh, and here I could turn around! Here I could turn that bitch around! Finally! New arrival inventory checklist. Everything. I will go through that if I need anything in particular. Oh, that's just turn around. This. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, progress. Progress and exploration. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Now how do I get down here? There. Let's see what's going on in the junkyard. Okay. Oh, jeez. Worksheet. This, oh no, look at this. Oh, but that could be with the dots that we saw in a room. This is the control panel that the villains have supplied to our route, for our route. Although they are able to control their system via vocalization, they have provided these control panels for other species to have limited access and control. If you have trouble, please find Noah for help. Remember, the villain numbering system is base 4. Drag from one blob to another to form the villain digits. Drag between blobs to disconnect. The standard panel has 5 digits, but single digit panels are also used. Use only first digit to simulate a digit panel. It is 3. All panels will autocorrect for invalid entries. Okay, doesn't seem I can do anything with it right now, though. Call 1555. Help you. 43. That's 1555 435 7968. The Manhole, a whimsical world where every character comes alive and every new hallway leads to another wild dream. Is there blood on there, or is that... oh no, just a hole. Let the child in your home or the child in your heart becomes the main character in an imaginative story. The manhole! Are you in trouble? Need help? We can help. Kenway, Bilham, and Bale Law Office. Can I call them? Let's try. Clear. 1, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8. Probably not. Nope. Something also with this thing, but I can't seem to use it at all. Like I can't drag anything, push anything, except from this. But it's just no. Moola Cola. Oh. Why doesn't that work? Oh, because this has no power supply still, right? There's something about that. Yes, we have to fix that at some point. Farley. Farley Tower, Junkyard Bucket, CW, Sphere Games. That Farley Tower.